so I sing this prelude called World Awakening. I want to point out one thing that's going to happen. The introduction to the chalice song I'm doing differently, because the last few weeks this one note thing is not, people are coming in all over. So I'm going to do, right? So
where's my,
so you have time to breathe.
I don't know what happened to my, there it is.
No more fighting, hearts uniting, all one people, all one dream. Hate is dying, love is rising on the world awakening. Children of one God, one planet, let the earth and heaven sing. Join the angels, joyous strains, all for our world awakening. Oh, for our world awakening. Oh, for our world One day all the world is watching, times weaves us a common theme. Peace, our anthem, all are welcome to a world awakening, and new ideas and new beginnings. That's what each tomorrow brings. Freely giving, we are living in a world awakening. Oh, in a world awakening. In a world awakening. Hate, hate is dying, love is rising on a world awakening.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the Lake Chapala Unitarian Universalist Fellowship. I'm Ted Fahy, serving as today's service associate, and Tim Boeve will share our message. We're glad you're here, either in person or on Zoom. Your presence is welcome and adds to the life and spirit of this fellowship. We hope you find this time enriching for your life and your faith journey. And by the way, if you're new to the fellowship, you can learn more through our weekly newsletter on the World Wide Web at www.lcuuf.org, or by speaking to a member of our welcome team. Could members of the welcome team please stand up so you can identify them? They're friendly and they're easy to talk to. As is our practice here at LCUUF, we'd like to welcome anyone who is visiting us for the first time or has returned or reconnected with us after a long absence. So as Carol passes the mic, if you're visiting or have returned after being away and you'd like to, please raise your hand and the mic will be brought to you. We ask that you give us your name and tell us where you're from. And if you're on Zoom, please introduce yourself in the chat box, and your name and location will be read aloud in the fellowship. We'll start with the people in the room.
Hi, everybody. I'm Helene Brenner, and I live in Ahihic, and I live here usually from August or September to May, and then I'm in Maryland, and I know some people here from Dems Abroad, and I'm here to find like-minded people that don't do spiritual bypass and are grounded in social justice and friendliness. So that's me.
I have to ask, spiritual bypass? Is that a cardiac procedure? Right, for the heart? Okay, do we have any visitors on Zoom this afternoon?
We don't have anyone on Zoom this afternoon.
Thanks, Mike. So, welcome to all, visitors, members, and friends. Here at LCUUF each week offers something unique. Reflections from our minister, Matt Alspaugh, insights from our members, like Tim's talk today, and occasionally presentations by guest speakers from outside our fellowship. Each service, no matter who the presenter, provides a welcoming and thoughtful experience. We love sharing this time with new folks, and of course, all you regulars too. So, as we light our chalice today, please remember that this ritual we perform each Sunday, igniting a visible flame for us to see during our time together, is a reminder of the light that we carry within ourselves. We can also think about the light that always shines from above, whether the sky is cloudy or clear. Even though we experience cloudiness at times within ourselves, the light inside us, just like the light from the sun, still shines. Maybe more dimly for a time, but it never goes out. And it may bring us comfort to remember that when the world outside these doors is filled with darkness, destruction, and even death, that in millions and millions of people just like us, a light is shining within them, bringing hope where there is despair and healing where there is hurt. As we light the chalice, I invite you to hold these thoughts in your hearts and allow the light within you to shine as brightly as it may. Now, having lit our chalice, let us sing these words together. So each week we come together for a time of communal sharing to lament with, celebrate with, and care for one another. As such, we take a few minutes to acknowledge and share what's on our hearts, because there is a quiet strength in the sharing as we hold each other in the spirit of love and support. We'll start today with sharing our sorrows, things that we would like to find support for. And after that, we'll share our joys or whatever is bringing us gladness today. If something feels important for you to name today, we are ready to listen. Just a sentence or two is enough. We'll start with the folks in the room to give those on Zoom a chance to type their sorrows and or joys into the chat to be read out loud in the fellowship. As the mic is passed, please share your sorrows.
Hi, this is not really a sorrow, but a concern that I have. The bus company raised the fare between Jojotepec and Chapala by 50% in the last week. And this affects our Mexican neighbors deeply. The Mexican daily rate of pay is about $17 a day, and the bus fare is now about $1. And so there is going to be a protest in front of the bus station in Chapala this evening at 5:30. And I have written a letter to the governor of Chapala, to, the mayor of Chapala, to express my concern about Mexican neighbors. And I'm also asking for us to have an awareness of, if you have a cleaning person, drive her home, offer to help pay for a cab. Lake Chapala Transport is starting to organize some carpooling. And this is heavy on my heart because I care so deeply about the people who share their beautiful home with me and allow me to have this life here. So thank you for listening.
The first friend that we met a year ago here, her name is Ruth, and she has a very close friend, Pedro, whose mother just passed away day before yesterday. And it's been a long process, and there's been a community of support for her. So just lifting up prayers for Pedro's mom's passing.
I'm Dee Dee. I just found out that my boss, who I have known for over 50 years back in Massachusetts, passed away a while ago, and I'm now writing a letter to for his very special, what's it called, a memorial service, and thank you.
I, too, have a joy and a sorrow. The joy first, my very, very dear friend Phyllis had a birthday yesterday. She's really only 63. It's absolutely amazing. But I lost a friend this week. His name was Donald Stordahl. You may remember him if you ever go to the zombie dance on the Malecon every Halloween for Thrill the World. I think he was in charge of it at least 5 or 6 or 7 years, and he raised a lot of money for a lot of organizations here, and he passed at the age of 55 from, just organs shut down. But he was battling a lot of demons, but he was very giving to this community, and we'll miss him.
Are there any sorrows that were shared on Zoom, Kate?
There's one from Pearl. I want to appreciate how much gratitude to DRA Monica Martinez Sanchez and excellent medical care in Mexico.
So now let's share our joys and or milestones, anything you may be celebrating, whatever evokes within you a feeling of joy or peace. Are there any joys that people want to share in the room?
My name's Bob Coaches. Yes, my youngest granddaughter was married yesterday. That's one joy. The second joy is that Wendy, who you all know, is now a grandmother from another one.
Hello, I'm Johannes Bjorner, and my joy is to view all the saints here that are next to us. That also represents our open mind to other groups, so I'm happy to see it.
So I'll be quick. I'm Devorah, and I'm leaving in 10 days for 5 weeks. And if you've been here, you've heard that my mother, I thought she was dying 2 weeks ago. She's not. But that could happen when I'm gone. And because of some friends of mine, a friend of mine, they have put, actually 2 people, they've put together a care team. So they will be visiting Mom. They will take turns visiting Mom while she's gone, and will let me know what's going on with her. So it's taken some heaviness off of my heart to know that there'll be people kind of looking out for me and my mom while I'm gone. Another good reason to live here.
I'm Tim. I'm happy that my wife Norris is here today, and she just celebrated an important birthday in her life, so we're just including this as part of the birthday celebration. So thank you all for coming to her party.
Birthday, dear Norris. Happy birthday to you.
And I have a joy. About, 2 weeks ago, or was it last week? A bunch of us went to Guadalajara to the Teatro de Gallardo and saw a Broadway production basically fashioned to the Mexican theme of Peter Pan. And they flew across the stage, and it was fabulous. So are there any joys that were shared on Zoom this afternoon, Michael?
Yeah, just one more. Pearl wanted to add to her previous one. The DRA, which I didn't understand at first, stands for Doctora Monica Martinez Sanchez, and she says, and that is a joy.
We have a second candle to light, and this one is from our care team. We light it to represent the joys and sorrows spoken and witnessed today, as well as those we hold in the silent sanctuary of our heart. Let us share a moment of silence. As you know, the work of our fellowship within these walls and beyond requires our time, treasure, and talent. We have the opportunity to share from our financial treasures at this time. So we pass the baskets during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks, to tangibly give a portion of our blessings that we have received and share them with others. As we pass the basket, if you're new here today, or if you're struggling to hold things together, please let the basket pass you by. Your presence with us is gift enough. And as we receive these gifts, may we recall the blessings we enjoy and the privilege of sharing them with others. Thank you so much for your generosity. Our opening hymn is For the Earth Forever Turning. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing following the words on the monitors. We don't need a choir. We have an entire choir here. So today's reading is a story related many years ago by a Greek physician living in Turkey. A certain elderly man was traveling by foot from his hometown to visit his beloved daughter and grandchildren, and he was attacked by a gang of thugs who stripped and robbed him, beat him mercilessly, and left him sprawled on the side of the road, half dead. Shortly, by coincidence, a priest was going down that same road, and seeing the bloodied stranger, he angled to the other side and gave him not a second look. And then another religious leader happened upon the same place, and after a brief glance, also crossed to the opposite side of the road, walking rapidly to avoid the sight of him. And not long after, An unbeliever hurrying on a long business trip came upon the old man, and his heart went out to him. He approached without fear and bandaged his wounds and applied expensive ointments, and setting him on his own mount, he brought him to a lodge well known to him, and that afternoon and evening he gently cared for him. And the next morning, taking out enough money for 6 days at the inn, he said, "Take good care of this man, and whatever you need to spend beyond this, I'll pay you on my return."
It's been a pleasure just to be here, sitting in the front, and just being part of this fellowship today. I feel that often on Sundays when we're together. But I don't know if it's certainly part of the music, Wiley, for sure, and Ted, your delivery of things, and just the good spirit that exists here. So I'm glad to be here, and it's a privilege for me to share this message with you today. When I worked as an executive director for a small nonprofit organization several years ago, one of my primary responsibilities was fundraising. It was then that I learned the importance of pro bono contributions. One of the folks that I worked with in the community owned a printing business. He and I became friends and remain so to this day. I gave him all our printing business for brochures, year-end reports, newsletters, and whatnot before everything was done online. He often didn't send a bill for his work, even after prodding him to do so. Over the course of 5 or so years of working with him, I doubt I was charged 50% of what was due him. Now, I learned from some of my fellow executive directors in the small community where we worked that he did likewise with them. He never used the term pro bono with any of us as to his benevolence, and we chalked it up as much to his procrastination and poor business acumen as to his charitable heart. Scrimping for every dollar as we all were, we certainly did not chide him for not charging what was due. What we did was invite him to our fundraising banquets at no charge as a sort of quid pro quo offering, and included his name in our in-kind contributors in our year-end reports, right? Pro bono and quid pro quo, you could say, are two competing Latin terms. They're used primarily, as with a lot of other Latin jargon, in legal context, representing opposite ends of the spectrum regarding exchange and compensation. Precisely, and a bit technical for a minute, pro bono refers to professional work, usually legal, done voluntarily and without payment. It is driven by ethical duty and a desire to provide access to justice for those who cannot afford it. So says a Google AI search. Conversely, quid pro quo implies an explicit exchange, a favor or advantage granted in return for something else. In law, it is often used to describe unethical or illegal behavior, though the term simply describes a reciprocal transaction, such as you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours. Now, moving out of the legal realm, it seems to me that we are witnessing a predominantly quid pro quo administration in Washington these days. This is common in the world of politics, I think, but our current president doesn't seem to know the meaning of pro bono. Everything he does is transactional, with him or his family and not the American people as the beneficiary of every negotiation he enters. Meanwhile, we live here in a country where the government is engaged in lifting up some of our poorest and least entitled people. Clearly more of a pro bono way of governing, and that extends to how the Mexican citizens relate to others. I've heard so many examples, some right here in this fellowship, of kindnesses that we immigrants have received at the hands of our Mexican hosts and neighbors, offered freely. To provide but one personal example, when I was experiencing some physical difficulties a while back and was advised by health professionals not to lift anything above 10 pounds, I had to manage picking up our drinking water in those 20-liter garrafones, you know, you see all over, containing purified water, weighing in at 20 kilos, roughly 44 pounds, which we use in our home. After the Mexican purveyor, who refills our 4 bottles, loaded them into my car without a moment's hesitation when I asked for help, I arrived home wondering how I was going to unload them. At that moment, a couple of Mexican youth were walking past our open garage, and I asked if they could help, and immediately the 2 fellows finished the task in short order, declining my offer of payment. I was more than happy to offer a quid pro quo transaction with them. But they were operating on a pro bono basis. Of course I was pleased, which is the purpose behind pro bono offerings, to benefit others at no cost to them. Now, one of course can benefit from quid pro quo arrangements too, you know, scratching each other's backs. However, when one is forced into such and the transaction doesn't feel so fair, the benefit, if I may say, doesn't feel too pleasing or is greatly diminished. Take the matter of paying taxes. Since we U.S. folks just observed Tax Day this past Wednesday, Canadians have till the end of the month for this pleasure. Being a necessary component of a democracy, our taxes pay for governmental services that benefit everyone, and sometimes more so those who need extra help for various reasons. Under usual circumstances, this quid pro quo arrangement has a pro bono element included, as we all benefit from good roads, safe bridges, clean water, clean air, whether or not we pay any taxes. Yet, when it comes to other governmental expenditures that our tax dollars support, I feel the quid pro quo arrangement very unsatisfying. Way too much of our tax dollars, as all of you know, in the U.S. go towards funding things I have no interest in supporting, and that would primarily, as you might suppose, be for military objectives, which I have substantial concerns about, as you may also. So the quid pro quo arrangement with taxes paid and services rendered doesn't always feel good. And maybe paying taxes never feels all that good. And if I may say a word about our Canadian neighbors, any of our Canadians with us today? A few, well, 1 or 2. In general, it seems to me their tax system has a much greater pro bono aspect on behalf of her citizens, which I wish the U.S. would strive to enact. Let's move away from taxes and consider another realm wherein we experience these 2 ways of operating, of being in the world. Since we'll be observing Earth Day this coming Wednesday, let's talk about the ways of nature. In evolutionary terms, we have come to understand that aspect of nature known as survival of the fittest, which certainly has a quid pro quo aspect to it. The strongest lion earns the opportunity, and maybe the pleasure, in passing along his genes to the females in the pride, and the females benefit by producing more fit offspring. So goes the theory. But let's look at a few examples of how nature acts in a pro bono fashion. As one source put it, nature actually relies on a massive foundation of unconditional output. The pro bono spirit, you might say. The sun of our solar system and its radiance is the ultimate pro bono act, pouring out its life-giving energy indiscriminately. The sun shines on the just and the unjust, as the saying goes. The sun doesn't require a return on its investment. It simply gives, and life on earth, our very existence, is a gift of that overflow. Perhaps you've heard the phrase, Wood Wide Web, which was coined by the editors of the writings of Canadian forest ecologist Dr. Suzanne Simard. The term describes the amazing interplay in old-growth forests where fungi and trees create underground networks. Older mother trees will often send excess sugar and nutrients through these fungal threads to saplings or even sick trees of different species, ensuring the health of the whole forest without an immediate payback, as the source I referenced put it. And then one of my favorite examples of the pro bono aspect of nature is found in that lovely and life-giving process from plants known as photosynthesis. When no one is close by, I'll sometimes go up to an inviting tree and place my hands on its trunk and say, thanks for giving. Or I'll breathe into the leaves of a shrub and express gratitude for the oxygen they provide. Now, there is, of course, a pro bono or a quid pro quo between us and plants, as they need the carbon dioxide that we breathe out, as well as the CO2 that comes from other sources, in order for them to live. Finally, in the realm of nature, think of a healthy fruit tree, like a mango tree, ubiquitous here in Mexico, often laden with fruit. Some of its fruit is to produce seeds for more trees, but most of it is a pure pro bono giveaway for insects, birds, animals, and us. I wonder, is nature trying to teach us something? I suppose you can discern by now where I come down on the relative benefits of these two ways of being. But where I come down is not particularly relevant. What is relevant is our shared core values as Unitarian Universalists. As Bob Coaches reminded us last week when, along with Devorah Kelly and Frank Watson, he shared his spiritual journey with us. He reminded us that love is at the center of our core values as UUs. Though love isn't defined, I have a strong inclination to believe that the love we're talking about as central to our values is what could be known as agape love, the Greek word that early Christian writers used to define divine love, undeserved love, the kind of love that expects nothing in return. It is not a quid pro quo kind of love, an if-then kind of love. If you please me, then I will love you. Rather, it's I love you, plain and simple. Like parental love, when it works the way we would have wanted our parents to love us, whether we deserved it or not. Now, I've no quibble with quid pro quo arrangements. they are, if they are fairly beneficial to both parties in the transaction. On the other hand, if that was a summation of all our dealings with others in a world that is and always has been patently unfair, filled with those who have and those who have not, and especially in our present world of the last couple decades or so, those who have way, way, way more than they need, and those who have way, way less than they need. We have to conclude that to balance things, we need a lot more pro bono offerings until we can right the ship of inequities. And it will come as no surprise to you that this way of being has to begin with people like us, who already strive to live out the core values of Unitarian Universalism. Now, we have our quid pro quo arrangements right here at LCUUF. We make pledges to support the work of this fellowship, paying Matt, our minister, our musicians, our tech team, and St. Andrews, among other things. And we do so happily, I would say, because we receive such benefits from having Matt as our minister and having this wonderful sanctuary to meet in and so on. But I would venture to say that we take even more pleasure in our share the basket offerings, our pro bono offerings for the benefit of those outside this fellowship. All I'm advocating for this afternoon is that we consider adopting a pro bono lifestyle. Many of you do that already. We don't have to give up quid pro quo arrangements. They will always play a necessary part in our lives. But what our world needs today, I believe, is a genuine helping hand without asking anything in return. And that includes giving back to nature in ways that augment her giving ways. Beyond that, what might the benefits be for ourselves of living out a pro bono kind of love? Among other things, there is great joy and freedom in giving simply for the sheer pleasure of doing so. Why else would those who have relatively little in terms of material goods be among the first to give what they can for the welfare of others? So, my friends, take with you into this beautiful yet hurting world this gentle reminder for striving to live from our best selves in a world longing for authenticity and pro bono love. So may it be. Amen.
Our closing hymn is Love Will Guide Us. Please rise in body or in spirit and join us in singing the words on the monitor.
Hello. We're going to play through it once, and I want you to do this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1. Come on, everybody.
The waltz.
through the hard night. Love will guide us through the hard night.
That was great. Say, the words in your first song about love and hate, do you remember what that phrase was? I don't want to
In
tell.
the
It was the prelude, maybe?
the prelude?
Yeah.
Oh, hate is dying, love is rising.
Hate is dying, love is rising. What's the next?
On a world awakening.
On a world awakened. Wow, it just grabbed me. Hate is dying, love's rising, huh? Yes. Well, I believe we are, in fact, pro bono-hearted people here in this fellowship, without question. What a privilege to have this experience of sharing love from the deepest, truest place within ourselves. Others benefit, and we also experience the joy of giving with no thought of return, huh? Let's go and do it, my friends. Amen.
So, let us extinguish our chalice with these words, which we read together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we keep in our hearts and share with all the world. Our worship is over. Our service begins. Go in peace and with a purpose, but before we leave, let's enjoy the postlude, Creed of the Heart, as played and sung by Wiley. The words to the chorus are on the screen, so if you want, please sing along.
Recovering from being a Catholic and all these things, spiritual bypass, love that. The creed has been something that's really powerful and I think needs healing. So between the Nicene Creed and Apostolic Creed, everything was healed for me with this song that you're going to hear the words to, Creed of the Heart.
Thank you. And please thank Christy for being here. I forgot to get that put in this, a lot of you know her anyway, so thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right. We'll sing it one time and then you join. Our God is love.
Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. That's the creed of the heart. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. Amen. Everyone. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. It's the creed of the heart. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. Amen. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. That's the creed of the heart. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. Amen.
One more time. Our God is love.
Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. That's the creed of the heart. Our God is love. Our race is human. Our religion is oneness. Amen.
Thanks for being with us today. Be safe. See you next week. And now we have an exit song.